Hey, folks, this is Big Lou. I'm here live at Totally Uncensored. Today, we're going to talk with Alex Lopez, and we're going to go over some of the things with the whole pandemic and what's going on with the music business, man. Uh, Places are closing down. Live entertainment seems to be hurt. Nobody's speaking up on behalf of it. We got to get this going. A lot of musicians are going through some tough times right now. We're gonna, like I said, Friday I got Mick Hayes, but right now it's all about Alex Lopez. So let's welcome him here with us. Mr. Alex, how are you, my friend?
Well, I guess all things considered, doing fairly well. I mean, under the circumstances, right?
Tough time in the music industry. It seems like I've been talking about this with my wife. I said everybody has a spokesperson representing them at Washington and at certain events, but it seems like the arts are lost right now.
Yeah, I recently saw an article. I'll forward it to you, where a senator is proposing some support for live venues being, I guess, taken to the Senate or taken to Congress to try to get some support. But yeah, I mean, we need a voice. We definitely need a voice because our voices of playing music, unfortunately, they're silent. Man, and it's a tough time. But it's also a time to reinvent yourself. It's a time to evolve. I think the music industry is going to change regardless of when. I mean, it'll come back to some point of normal, but I think the industry is going to change dramatically for all of us. It is what it is. You have to adapt. You have to evolve.
Well, we were kind of talking a little bit off air about drive-in concerts. I don't see them going away. I think that's going to be a new style of concert because I'm watching the people are enjoying it.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think that it follows all the social distancing, but it's also a cool, honestly, whether there were a pandemic or not, it's kind of a cool way to watch a gig, right? Think about it. You're in your car, you're BYOB, you're with your friends. It's affordable. You're safe. I think it's a great way to deliver music. So I hope it really blows up. I really do. That part just goes big.
I think it will. It's about to see who's going to be the most creative with it is going to win, I think. I did a show. Like I told you, I did a show this past weekend, and it was successful. But I can see things that I could have personally done to make it better.
Well, it's all about learning right now, right? Because I think we're all trying to find our way. So as long as you're constantly, seeking to learn, growing from it, and improving. But here's the one thing, Lou, that you're doing that people might not be doing. You're going out and you're doing something. You're taking a chance. And to me, now more than ever, you gotta be creative. So I mean, kudos. I mean, that's what
was great. What was great about my event was this. The stage was donated to me by Mojo Productions. PR Audio donated the sound. Each and every musician donated their time because they wanted to come out and entertain the fans. We had bands from the West Coast, from Tampa. We had bands that came down from Nashville. They wanted to be a part of what I was doing. And we took donations, and those donations that were given to us, we gave it back in. I made $0. I wasn't into it for the money. I was into it for the experiment and and to show people that if we did live entertainment, it would work. My first announcement was no politics, no religion. Today's all about love and music. And if you can't handle that, you can go ahead and leave and I'll pay you what you came in with.
Man, that's great because right now, I mean, not to make things even more difficult than when they are, but you got to deal with that whole, that whole aspect. And I got to tell you, there have been so many, not to go down the political road because it's never a good conversation, but so many challenging conversations I've had with friends and friends that became former friends, because it's a very tumultuous time in this world, right?
I just think that we need to concentrate more on the unity than the separation. You know, the separation has been caused already. I think we need to work more on getting ourselves all united again as a country.
One of the things I love about the music community is that
A lot of love, man.
A lot of love. I mean, you know, the music community for the most part truly is about, you know, being
especially our genre that we're working right now, the blues genre. I have never seen so much love and outpour than the blues genre. Hey, I put just for the greatest example, I made the announcement. I put a donation bucket by the front entrance when people were pulling in, and nobody wanted to put anything there. Everybody wanted to make sure that they were able to see me and hand it to me and thank me for bringing live entertainment.
Oh, wow.
And that meant so much to me.
That had to be extremely rewarding.
You know, it was a beautiful thing. But that's gone. Let's talk about Alex Lopez.
Well, yeah, sure, man. Cool.
What are you doing, man? Are you working on some new music?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You know, right before this whole thing hit, we were scheduled and planned to go into the studio and do an album. So we kind of, if you recall, we released an album last year, Yours Truly Me, did fairly well. We were very excited about the results. Brought us some good recognition, brought us a new agent. Just a lot of good things came out of it. And then I developed a strategy of, okay, let's hit him with a 1-2 punch. Like, we got this album out, and we're going to put another dynamite rock and blues album right behind it. And then, of course, you know, it hit the fan. So we've been kind of waiting to what the right time is, and we finally decided the right time is now. I mean, at least to get it recorded, get it going. So we're in rehearsals right now working on the album. We're super excited about it. This is a true blues rock album. What I mean by that is I think it's interesting how so many critics, I had no bad reviews with the last album, but there was a recognition that, you know, is it really pure blues? Is it, you know, he's a creative guy. He's a songwriter, blah, 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 blah.
Let me get ready for this one, because I'm gonna voice myself on this one.
Please do. I said to myself, this album has got to be squarely in the box. Grab them by the whatever you call it, and give them. I want them to listen to the album and say, "My God, is that Cream from '68? Is that Zeppelin from '60? What is it? That was the goal."
I would tell you this, as a friend that we've become friends in the industry.
Absolutely.
As a fan of music, as a fan of yours, I'd say stick to what you do the best, because I have only one thing to say. Well, I'll go this way. The Blues Police. This is uncensored, so we go wherever we want to go.
I'm great with it. I'm good with
it. Blues Police, to me, needs to get shut down. Let the music evolve. We're not in the 60s anymore. The 145 shuffle is dead. It's okay to break one out here and there, but the music has gone somewhere else, and let it go where it's going. Because times have evolved.
Yeah.
And I am the biggest guy that right now is against the Blues Police, because right now, if the Blues Police cared as much for the blues as they say they do, why haven't they not spoken up on behalf of the blues and let you guys down, where so many guys are suffering today without any money coming in? Where's the Blues Police now?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Blues is a genre, and here we are live. You know, we can't take it back. So the truth is that, you know, you have the Blues Police. You really want to fit in the box, but the reality is that, if you don't develop the genre and push a genre, you're going to lose the next generation. You're not going to keep it exciting and dynamic. You have to spread your wings. Now, I recognize that you can't go play funk and call it blues or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't. But you can if it's blues infused.
Well, see, I believe that. So it's interesting you say that. So I think that there's a way to accomplish it all. And, but this one is a little bit more in the box. I will be honest with you, because I wanted in my strategy, I wanted to welcome me with open arms, and then so
punch him in the face.
Yeah.
One of the best bluesmen out there, the great Bobby Rush. He hits you with nothing but funk, and he infuses it with a little bit of blues. But his music is nothing but funk.
You've got some great artists out there I love. I'm a big fan of Selwyn, and it's blues, but he's got, when you listen to it, there's an edge to it. The horn and the sax player and his approach, and I'm like, it's swampy and it's cool, and I'm like, that's blues, but that's creative, outside the box, taking the blues to a next level. Look, I'm not here to recycle the blues. I respect the godfathers of the blues.
Yes,
with all my heart and all my soul. I love it, but I'm here to take the great things they've taught us and hopefully build on them, not to live off their legacy. That's not fair. That's not fair to them or to me.
And I also think that there's a time where the producers need to say, hey, you know what? This is not good. Let's get back and rework this instead of taking people's money just to put product out.
Well, that's interesting. I think that is interesting, because I don't want to be negative, but I've heard some great blues albums.
Oh God, yes.
But I've heard some stuff that I'm like, this is truly the 1-4-5 recycled shuffle over next song, the next song, and the next song, and you kind of ask yourself, what are we doing? I know it can be better, without saying anything negative. So, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to write the best songs. I'm going to bring the blues to the next level. That's what I try to do. I'm going to grab some people by the throat on this one. That's my
good. I'm glad to hear you say that. I have a gentleman on here. We have a gentleman on here. His name is Matthew, and he wants to know, did you play in a little bar in Sanford, Florida? You used to play slide guitar. He wants to know if it's you.
No, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Matthew, for the question. It's interesting that you say Sanford. I've never played there before, but we are playing in Sanford on September 5th. What a total coincidence, by the way.
You set this up, didn't you?
Matthew, I'll send you your $100 later. But truly, Sanford's a cool little town. They've got a great, I can't think of the name of the club. You probably know it in there, Lou. There's a club there.
Yeah, I know it, but I don't know the name off the top of my head. Sanford is cool.
Cool little place, and they do support the blues and soul. We're playing at the West End Theater on September 5th, which is kind of cool because the way they reconfigured the venue, there's going to be total social distancing. I'm 10 feet away from the crowd. It's a nice, intimate venue, and it's very modern, very cool, right in downtown Sanford. So I'm excited about that. So if you haven't been out to see us, Matthew, I hope I get to see you out there.
The Alley.
That's right. The Alley is the venue that's been.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, you're right. The Alley. A lot of good bands have come through there, but I've never played there. So thanks for asking the question.
But it's a tough time in the music industry right now, and we keep repeating it. We just lost another club, the Funky Biscuit in Southeast Florida. Skipper's has been closed in Tampa for I don't know how long. And the question is, will they come back? We don't know.
Yeah, it's really. I was so saddened by the. Can I tell you a story about the Funky Biscuit?
Go ahead.
So I have, I think when you line up your Florida venues, when you look like where do you want to play at the top of the list, the Funky Biscuit is one of the absolute top.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were finally booked to play there. I think it was April. Okay. And I was so excited, man. I was like, my first time at the Funky Biscuit. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, you're making a good wheel when you're on the Funky Biscuit tour.
I mean, it's just to be able. Okay, I'm on the stage, and where some other great players have been. And anyway, long story short is, of course, the thing hit. So the pandemic. So I hope the venue comes back, and of course, I'm a big fan of Skipper's, which is in my town, Tampa, and Tom and gang are like second family. Those guys are great guys, Larry and all those guys there. And so I think Skipper's will be back once they're able to open.
Yeah, he's been there 37 years.
Something ungodly
like that, and he probably owns the whole block by now. So I'm sure he'll be back. But it's sad that it's been closed and live entertainment has been pretty much put on hold. Look at the state of New York, where they banned live entertainment in general throughout the whole state.
Yeah, I think you have to rely now. I've been talking to a lot of artists, agents, and I think that you've got to hang in there and build your audience a different way. We're trying, a lot of social media. We were on the Can't Stop the Blues show. I don't know if you follow that show, which is a Facebook show, and we had 6,000 viewers on that. We're doing a pay-per-view through Vimeo. I think that's actually going on now. And so you've got to find ways to stay relevant. I saw that Damon Fowler has a great show called, I think it's called Damon's Garage. I might be wrong.
Damon's Garage. Solid Birchwood has his.
Right. Yeah, I think Victor Wainwright has his. I'm now going to, I'm actually late on this. I'm going to put one out called Express Yourself, a live weekly show. Because I just think I've got to stay connected to the fans. That's the key. To me, it's like they'll be there for me when I come back, but I can't forget about them just because it's tough times. I've got to stay connected to the fans. Got to get to let them know that I'm still here, still making music. I'm ready to go.
Well, that's why a few months ago, probably about 3 months ago, I started this, and I called it it was called Shooting the Shit to begin with. And that's what we do. And when we shoot the shit is what we're doing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Some people got offended by the name.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I got a ton of emails. We won't be listening because it sounds vulgar, blah, blah, blah. So I said, Tavon, you know what? I want to make it even worse. Let's go totally uncensored now. So we say whatever the fuck we want to say when we want to say it, whether they like it or not. You know what? It is what it is.
I think people I think people appreciate what I've discovered. I'm learning and growing every day is that people appreciate knowing the real you, right? They want to know you as a person. They want to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, your fears, and it's all about a true relationship with your fans who become your friends, and that's what it's about. So I try as best as I can, because I'm not always, I try to really connect with them and get to know them. And I love those artists that I see during the break in their show or after their show will come down and hang out with the, with the crowd. I did a concert once with Victor Wainwright, and this was, I think, in Bonita Springs. This was a couple of years back. Anyway, we opened for him, and it was a great show. And I learned something, because what I loved about what Victor did was time to go sell merch and talk merch. And, Victor's a fairly substantial, artist in our genre. And I said to myself, he went down himself to meet every single fan, sign everything personally. I mean, he didn't, and I said, you know what, that's somebody, that's who you want to be. That's who you want to be. And so I adopted that, and thank you, Victor, for that, because I learned that from you. So, I think it's about that personal, intimate relation as much as you can.
I interviewed Hurricane Ruth, and she said it the best, kind of. She's done a couple of virtual things, but she's not doing many of them, other than maybe getting on there and talking to her fans, because she says, if I can't feel the ground shake under my shoes, it ain't rock and roll.
I get that. I get that.
So I definitely understand that.
Or when we did our live stream for Can't Stop the Blues, it was hard because it's hard to put on a show.
I can't watch it.
It's hard to, it was interesting when my band was like, man, this is tougher than you think because it's just dead silence, right? And so you got to look, man, you just got to imagine the audience there. You just got to put on a great show and you got to talk to them. But it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not, and I can't watch it because I think I've watched a total of an hour on online because there's no connection. I know you're a great musician. I know you can play the hell out of your guitar, Alex. I've seen you play.
Thank you.
I know your vocals are great. But me as a fan, I like to go see you perform because I like to see you sweat. I like to see you get into your moment. And you really can't feel that on the internet.
Yeah, my keyboard player, Kenny Hoy, says people want to feel the thump of the kick drum like a heartbeat. Yes. And they want to feel that. They want to know that. And there's something about seeing a guy or a gal run across stage and do their thing that you can't get through a live stream.
I mean, you played for me at the small venue that I was using down here in Punta Gorda, and one of the things that I made you guys do that I particularly want is make sure you put a microphone on the kick drum.
Oh, yeah.
To add that little bit of bass because it's what makes the people feel it, man.
Can I tell you a funny story about that? Or you might not even remember this, but there was a great night. I enjoyed that performance there for you in that club, and that was a lot of fun. I remember before the show, you had a special like a moonshine or something, or a little. You were like, "Hey, I want to give you," and I had a little. Man, that was whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. A little shot, and it just.
It might have been one of my little secret recipes at home.
Well, it might have been. It was good. I mean, I loosened up.
I didn't make it at home. Somebody gave it to me.
Of course, absolutely. I'm sure it's still on. No, but that was a great evening. No doubt.
Yeah, it was fun, but I have a good time with the musicians, and I think that's what makes it different than some venues. Or about business, 100% business. I'm probably a 50% business, 50% pleasure.
I think it's great. That's why I love, on a professional level as well as a personal level, just working with it. You understand how musicians think. You're about the music. You're committed to the music. You're committed to the performances. I've been overjoyed to.
I have a great time, man. I really do. And that's why it upsets me that none of these gentlemen that have, or ladies or gentlemen that have claimed to be the upper elite representatives of the blues have stepped up on behalf of the musicians and tried to do anything financially for the musicians other than line their pockets up.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw that. You're right. And I saw that Joe Bonamassa. I'm a big Joe Bonamassa fan. And he has created a a charity? I guess it's called charity. I'm not sure. And he's got this big pay-per-view gig coming up, which I'm sure he'll probably do well. But a percentage of that is going to support blues artists. So it's good to see people give back, support artists. You don't see enough of that. I feel terrible and there are those artists out there that are having a tremendously hard time making ends meet. And these are great, talented people with creating great music. And I just wish that, there was more support for them. It's a hard world, man.
Have you seen the newscasters, how on television right now with this everybody broadcasting from home, and all of a sudden the little kid runs across the back of the screen?
Yeah.
I have my kid running across the front of the screen. That's what you see with my eyes wondering. My wife came in here. My cat came in here. My wife came to get my cat.
Well, I've had to do things like that too. And I've had to say, honey, I'm getting ready to record. Or,
let me put her on TV. This is my little
her.
girl. See, here she is, guys.
She's a tiny little thing.
This is my little girl.
What's her name?
Her name is Stella.
Hey, Stella.
And she's making her debut on television today for the first time. And I'm sorry I interrupted your interview with this, but she's wanting to get my attention.
No,
and she's got it.
What did we call it? It's live and what did you call it?
It's totally uncensored.
Uncensored. So I mean, you got to have somebody there. You got to have. Just as long as we don't get somebody naked running across the thing, we're okay. I think.
Hey, if I stand up, then we're in trouble. Anyway, where the people that are interested in looking for your music or wanting to follow your career, where can they pick up your CDs right now?
Well,
directly from you. I want to hear it directly from you where they can get them. I don't want that Amazon crap.
I appreciate the easiest way to get them directly from me is just go to my website, which is Alex Lopez. Can't forget it. It's alexlopezmusic.com. And you get the CDs directly from there. And by the way, love to T-shirts, everything else. Everything's always autographed. That comes from my website personally. That's always important. Again, part of connecting with the fans. So I appreciate that. Follow me there as far as my schedule. When I'm playing, obviously not playing as much anymore, but we are doing a few outdoor venues. We're playing at Englewoods on Dearborn, which I'm sure you're well, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Tony there. And
now let me ask you. In Tampa, there was a driving down Funland Drive-In, I think it was called.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's still there, I believe. It's just not being used. Have you thought about approaching them?
I have approached them. And I don't want to speak out of school, but it doesn't seem like that's something they're really
interested
in about yet. But what I would say is things are changing every day, man. And as businesses get tough, and as this becomes a viable way of entertaining people, I will see a lot of drive-ins turn around on that. I mean, we've talked to about 3 or 4 drive-ins about putting some shows together. We're also looking outside the state. I know that there was a recent one, Mike Zito, on his Instagram, I think, I might be wrong about this, was promoting one that was in Miami. Do you know about that?
Yeah, they just did one for Cat Riggins.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, and I thought that was great. So it's not yet common, but there's one here, one there. And I don't think it'll ever be totally common because it's not an easy thing to pull off, but it will become more normal.
I think the hardest issue that I had with the drive-in thing was the fans not being able to approach the stage nor the musicians, because usually after the show, you go and you sell merch, you interact, you take pictures, you shake hands, kiss babies, like they say, and that's done. That part of it is gone. So
that's not coming back anytime soon, man.
What we did was we had a company that donated some golf carts, and we put the musicians on the back of the golf carts, and we drove them through every aisle and let them wave at the musicians, wave at their fans, and sell merch if somebody wanted to sell merch. But we drove them around.
Man. That is a super creative idea.
We really tried the social distancing to push the envelope on it. We definitely made our mark with it. Like I said, 90% of it was spot on. The other 10% we corrected right away.
So did you find anything that you were worried about in terms of like, I don't know what the word would be, violations of social distancing that made you nervous, or was it all pretty damn good?
No, it was all pretty damn good.
That's great.
It was all pretty damn good. I mean, we went above and I thought outside the box, what can I do to make this safe as I can? And we what I did was when the musicians were checking in, we checked their temperatures. We asked them how are they feeling today. We asked them if they've been in contact with anybody with COVID-19 over the last 14 days, and then we got their telephone numbers.
Okay.
And we gave them an armband. They had been checked.
Wow.
So
you did it right. You did it right.
Nobody, and then we checked all the volunteers that were working, the food trucks that came in. We checked them before they started, and so we were more concerned about our end giving it to you. So we made sure that our end was safe. We knew that once we were safe, we weren't going to go around shaking hands. We weren't going to go and get in your face, in your mug, and go to that route. And it was so on that behalf, it was safe.
Now, do you think that? Do you think that as a result of all this pandemic, are more people flocking to the internet radio now? I mean, are you seeing, how does that, I mean, is there up and down or sideways? Or?
No, my numbers have maintained the same.
Okay.
My numbers have not gone up, nor have they gone down. The station is still good. I'm still getting CDs. I'll reach over here real quick. This is what I picked up today.
Oh, wow.
First one.
Wow.
So
you're
the musicians are still sending CDs. I'm behind. I don't go as often to the mailbox to pick them up either, because I don't want to expose myself at the mailbox every day to pick up CDs. So I try and get in there once a week.
Okay.
I try and make Friday my pickup day, and but obviously people are still working. We're still getting CDs. People are still pushing product.
Do you think there'll be more releases or less releases?
During this whole time, I'm seeing a lot of releases. I'm hoping that people are not going to wait till after to release COVID-19 blues.
Ugh.
Because one thing that I'm not doing on the station, I've received a couple CDs that have to do with COVID-19, and I've thrown them out. Point blank.
I mean, people approached me and said, "Hey, why don't you do a
quarantine song?"
Yeah, Corona. And I said, "No, man, no. I mean, that's not what I do." And I didn't feel good about. I mean, look, if you want to do it, I'm not gonna judge you.
The only thing that I played is a parody song of My Corona.
No, I haven't. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's out there, and it's funny. So I let it run one time, and that's it. I deleted it.
Oh, I've got to hear that. Now that's
but as far as playing serious music about COVID-19, and I got the blues because I'm locked down in my house, and I can't go play, and I'm losing my money, and I ain't making money. Nah, I'm sorry. There's too many musicians going through it. There's too many. When it first happened back in March, Alex, I was probably one of the. I'm gonna say it. I was probably one of the first people that went online on March 13th, March 15th, somewhere in that period, and said, "Let's not forget the venues. Let's not forget the gas stations. Let's not forget the hotels. Let's not forget the restaurants that go along with the musicians, because the musicians that are traveling across the nation stay at these hotels, they eat at these restaurants, they pump their gas at these stations. All that is gone also. All those people are also suffering. It's not just a guy that slings a guitar or beats the drums or sings. It's not just a musician. There's other people that were affected by this horribly, and they've been forgotten.
It's funny how, if there's any lesson in this thing, for me anyway, it's how quickly life can change on a dime, right? I remember the last time I saw you. It was great, by the way. You had kindly come out to my show in Port Charlotte. I was playing with Diana Rain.
Diana Rain, yep.
And it was Walter Trout. Thank you so much. Walter Trout's birthday. Yeah, I loved it. Wasn't Diana? I mean, we had a good time.
It was a fun show. It was really a fun show.
Good show. And so was Walter Trout's birthday. I remember that. And
we recorded.
We were talking afterwards about putting this show on and let's do this show and we were feverishly talking about like the next thing, and then that was in February, and then it all stopped. So I think if there's a lesson, it's to be appreciative for everything you have, everything you are, appreciative for your family, your friends, your fans. Keep making music. Now, like one of the things I'm doing too is I'm actually writing. I'm writing a lot. I'm practicing like crazy, man. I mean, one thing I said, like when I come out of this thing, they thought I had good chops before. Wait till they see me now, because that's all I do is play all.
I tell you what I did realize is that I was not in festival shape. Man, I got winded.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, right?
I was there. I had to get there by 8 o'clock in the morning. And by 9 o'clock, I was dead. But it was so good to see a lot of the old fans and friends that were there. And everybody respected the social distancing. There was no shaking hands. There was really no hugging. It was all, hey, how are you? And good to see you kind of deal. So
it's great to see people love the music, man. Come out and support.
I think if you do the drive-in shows, like you said, and people are going to come.
I believe that. I mean, I think I mentioned to you before when we were off air that for the Sanford show, we've had a great response, and I think people there's a pent-up demand. It's going to be tough to find the right venues, but people want to go back to listening to live music, so I can't wait for that to happen.
I don't think the small venues are going to come back anytime soon. I think it's going to be more of the larger venues and the outdoor stuff that's going to come back first. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long time for anybody to trust a small room where you're going to be sitting 3 feet apart.
I mean, I don't want to sound like one of these. I don't know. Whatever. I haven't even been to a restaurant, bro, in 4 months.
Yeah.
I have not even been to a restaurant in 4 months.
You go somewhere and somebody sneezes, and everybody's ready to pull out a gun and shoot them.
You got to be careful how you say that in today's political world.
Yeah, man.
Somebody might actually really shoot you.
Yeah,
that's the scary part, right?
No, it's we have a movement. We do have a movement down here. I joke around with it.
Oh, really?
But it's something that I truly believe in. I am with a thing called defund the media.
Well, I mean, somebody tell me today. I mean, is it really certainly the media have made it very fearful, right? Because I think you try to separate the reality from the fiction, and it's hard, man. It's hard.
Because I think the media doesn't allow you to know what's really going on. They keep, it's the left side, the right side. There's no straight line down the middle. Where we stand as civilians. We're on that straight line down the middle, and who's telling you the truth?
Man, at some point, Lou, not to get all spiritual on you on this uncensored show, at some point you just got to trust in something bigger than yourself, right? And just say, hey, at the end of the day, it's kind of not always in your hands. And all I can do now is prepare, be the best guitar player.
Well, be ready for 2021 so you can come out with a bang, right?
Right. That's the focus. And by the way, that's the mantra. Be ready for when it hits. We got a lot of great people on our team, including yourself. And so a lot of folks are supporting us in terms of getting ready for 2021. And I hope and pray that we'll be open by then. We'll see.
Yes, sir. Alex, I want to thank you for your time today, man. It's been a pleasure.
Listen, it's my pleasure. Always great to talk to you.
Once again, where do the people go get your material at?
You can just look me up on my website's the best, alexlopezmusic.com. I'm always on Facebook, Alex Lopez Music, Instagram the same. So peace and love to all your fans and all the fans out there. Really appreciate an opportunity to talk with you, Lou. You're an awesome asset to our industry. Appreciate
We'll
it.
talk, Alex. We'll talk because we got work to do together.
We do. Yes, we do.
All right.
Good
Be
man.
good, buddy. Take care.
Peace.
Be good. There you go, blues fans. Alex Lopez. Check him out. AlexLopezMusic.com. I'm going to let you guys go. On Friday, I got Mick Hayes. Make sure to tune in with us. Peace out.